Hey there, food lovers! We have a unique and fun twist for you today. We created the best red velvet Oreo roll cake ever. Ready to try your hands on this treat? Grab your aprons, preheat those ovens, and let's get started. Before we dive into this mouth-watering adventure, let's rally our trusty ingredients. Baking is an exhilarating journey, and just like any epic quest, it begins with the perfect supplies. So gather round and let the excitement begin. Let's make sure we have everything we need to create something truly magical. Don't worry, we're not talking about anything too fancy here. This is all about the joy of baking with simple, everyday ingredients that you probably already have in your pantry. There is no need for exotic items or hard-to-pronounce spices. Get ready for a delicious twist on classic baking. We're bringing together timeless staples with the delightful crunch of Oreos. These iconic cookies take center stage, infusing our creation with extra fun and irresistible flavor. It's the perfect way to elevate your treats and bring magic to your kitchen. For the cake, let's start with the basics. Flour is the foundation of our cake. 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Measure it accurately for the perfect texture. 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt will give our cake its structure and a hint of chocolatey goodness. 1.5 cups granulated sugar, 3/4 cup vegetable oil, 2 large eggs, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, and 1 cup buttermilk. These ingredients will add sweetness, moisture, and richness to our cake. The buttermilk in particular will make it incredibly tender. 2 tablespoons of red food coloring, don't be shy now, will give our cake that vibrant, eye-catching color. Go ahead, pour it in generously. And 1 teaspoon of white vinegar. This might seem unusual, but it enhances the cake's texture and flavor. And for the creamy Oreo filling, let's move on to the filling. This is where the magic happens. 8 ounces softened cream cheese. Cream cheese is the base of our filling, making it rich and creamy. 1/2 cup unsalted butter, softened, 3 cups powdered sugar, and 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. These will add sweetness and a smooth texture to our filling, and the vanilla extract will give it a lovely aroma. And 1 cup of crushed Oreo cookies, about 12 cookies. See? Nothing too scary. The crushed Oreos will add that signature crunch and flavor to our filling. Now, let's get these ingredients prepped and ready for action. Make sure everything is measured and laid out before we start mixing. This will make the process smooth and enjoyable. Ready? Let's dive into the world of baking and create something delicious together. First, preheat that oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 175 degrees Celsius. This step is crucial because we want our oven to be nice and hot when our cake batter is ready. A properly preheated oven ensures even baking and a perfect rise. So set that dial and let the oven do its thing while we move on to the next steps. Now grab your favorite 15 by 10 inch baking pan and grease it with butter. Make sure to get into all the corners and edges. This will help our cake release quickly once it's baked. Spread the butter evenly with a brush or your fingers. A well-greased pan is key to a perfect cake. Remember to dust it with flour too. We don't want any sticking. The flour creates a barrier between the pan and the batter, ensuring a smooth release. Sprinkle a bit of flour and tap the pan to spread it around. Shake off any excess flour. This little step makes a big difference in the final result. Whisk together the flour, cocoa powder, baking soda, and salt in a large bowl. These dry ingredients form the foundation of our red velvet cake. Make sure they are well combined to avoid any lumps. The cocoa powder adds a subtle chocolate flavor, while the baking soda and salt help with the cake's texture and rise. Here's our dry team, ready to mingle. It's important to mix all your dry ingredients thoroughly before adding them to the wet ingredients. This ensures an even distribution of flavors and a consistent texture throughout the cake. In another bowl, cream together the sugar and oil until smooth. This step is crucial for incorporating air into the batter, which helps the cake rise. Use an electric mixer for best results and mix until the sugar is fully dissolved and the mixture is light and fluffy. Crack in those eggs one at a time, mixing well after each addition. Eggs add structure and moisture to the cake. Make sure each egg is fully incorporated before adding the next. This helps create a smooth and uniform batter. Add vanilla extract for a touch of sweetness. Vanilla enhances the flavors and adds a lovely aroma to the cake. Just a teaspoon or 2 will do the trick. Mix it in well to ensure it's evenly distributed. Now here comes the fun part, mixing the wet and dry ingredients. This is where the magic happens. The batter will start to come together, and you'll see the beautiful red color forming. Take your time and mix gently to avoid overworking the batter. Whisk together the buttermilk, red food coloring, and white vinegar in a small bowl. The buttermilk adds tanginess and moisture, while the red food coloring gives our cake that iconic red velvet hue. The vinegar might seem unusual, but it reacts with the baking soda to create a tender and moist crumb. Don't be alarmed by the vinegar. It's going to make our cake super moist and tender. The acidity of the vinegar helps to balance the sweetness and enhance the overall flavor. Once everything is mixed, you'll have a vibrant red batter ready to be poured into our prepared pan. Get ready to bake up some red velvet magic. It's time to combine our dry and wet ingredients. First, let's make sure we have all our dry ingredients ready. Combine the flour, cocoa powder, baking soda, and a pinch of salt in a large mixing bowl. Give it a good whisk to ensure everything is well mixed and there are no lumps. This step is crucial for a smooth batter. Now, let's move on to our wet ingredients. In another bowl, beat the sugar and oil together until well combined. Add the eggs, one at a time, beating well after each addition. Then, mix in the buttermilk, vanilla extract, and a splash of vinegar. Gradually add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients, mixing on low speed until just combined. This will ensure our cake is moist and flavorful. Don't overmix. We don't want a tough cake. Gently fold the batter with a spatula to ensure everything is well incorporated. The key here is to mix until you see no dry flour. Overmixing can lead to a dense and chewy cake we don't want. Pour the beautiful red batter into your prepared pan and spread it out evenly. Use a spatula to get every last bit of batter from the bowl. Smooth the top with the spatula to ensure an even bake. This will help the cake rise evenly and look perfect when it's done. Pop it in the preheated oven and bake for 15 to 18 minutes, or until a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean. Keep an eye on it as it bakes, as oven temperatures can vary. You want the cake to be set but still moist. Once done, let it cool in the pan for a few minutes before transferring it to a wire rack to cool completely. While the cake is baking, let's prepare our Oreo filling. This creamy, dreamy filling will take our red velvet cake to the next level. Beat the softened cream cheese and butter in a large bowl until light and fluffy. This should take about 3-4 minutes. The key is to ensure that the cream cheese and butter are both at room temperature so they blend smoothly. Gradually add in the powdered sugar and vanilla extract, beaten until smooth. Add the powdered sugar a little to avoid a sugar cloud in your kitchen. Continue beating until the mixture is creamy and soft, with no lumps. Gently fold in the crushed Oreos, saving a few for garnishing later. The Oreos add a delightful crunch and flavor to the filling. Make sure to fold them gently to keep the filling light and fluffy. And there you have it, a delicious Oreo filling ready to complement our red velvet cake perfectly. Get ready for an exciting experience with the Oreo infusion, a delightful symphony of flavors that will tantalize your taste buds. Once the cake is baked, let it cool in the pan for about 10 minutes. Now here comes the fun part. Roll in the cake. Carefully invert the cake onto a clean kitchen towel dusted with powdered sugar. Gently roll up the cake, starting from the short end. Let it cool completely while rolled up. This step is crucial. Rolling the cake while it's still warm will help it keep its shape and prevent cracking later on. Patience is key here. We're ready to roll your way to deliciousness. Once the cake is completely cool, gently unroll it and spread the heavenly Oreo filling evenly over it. Now re-roll the cake, this time without the towel. Wrap it tightly in plastic wrap and refrigerate for at least 2 hours, or even better, overnight. This chill-in time is essential for the flavors to meld together and for the cake to firm up, making it easier to slice and serve. Trust us, the wait will be worth it. We've arrived at frosting, our spectacular grand finale. Get ready for an unforgettable celebration. All right, it's time for the grand finale, the frosting. You can either use the remaining Oreo filling or whip up a batch of your favorite cream cheese frosting. We love the tangy sweetness of cream cheese frosting with red velvet cake. Once your cake is nice and chilled, frost it generously. Get creative with it. You can do a simple swirl pattern, pipe on some rosettes, or sprinkle on some crushed Oreos for decoration. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to decorate. Let your inner artist run wild. Congratulations, you did it! It's time to share the red velvet love. You've successfully created a masterpiece, a red velvet Oreo cake roll that's as impressive as it is delicious. Now comes the best part, sharing your creation with your loved ones. Slice that beautiful cake roll into generous portions and watch as their eyes light up with delight. Don't forget to snap a picture of your creation and share it with us on social media. You can even share in the comments below. We love seeing your culinary triumphs. Thank you for joining us. This red velvet Oreo cake roll is a dessert that'll have everyone begging for more. Remember, bacon is all about having fun and experimenting in the kitchen. So don't be afraid to put your own spin on this recipe and make it your own. If you enjoyed this dessert, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel for more deliciousness, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Thank you for watching. Until next time. Happy baking!